All right, y'all. I think this is like my first video back to back. Okay, so the title of this video is "Should You Should Test Women and Your Friends." Honestly, I don't believe this video get any views properly until like 10 years from now, until people start thinking about this type of stuff. So, should you shit test women? Let's do that first, and then friends later. I'll do friends last because I think friends are more important. Um, should you shit test women? Most fucking definitely you should shit test women. You see in today's society, honestly, yes, you should shit test women. You should shit test anybody. The Bible says prove a friend. It doesn't just say be friends with everybody. And that went for even your own people. When it's talking about in the Bible is your own people and everybody else. And it also says don't make friends with strangers. You should prove a friend. But then the question is for man is how do you prove a woman? Well, let's go into the Bible. When Isaac sent his servant to Laban, his sister's brother, to get a wife for his son, Jacob, he basically told him basically just go get a wife. And then the servant prayed to God and he said these specific things. He said, let this woman give me water out of the well, and then that's it, right? But what she did, she gave him water, and then she fed all his cattle. Now this man was rich. Well, the servant wasn't rich. The person who owned him was rich, so he had a lot of cattle. And pulling water out of the well is not easy. So she had to have strong arms, and she did that a number of times. I mean, because you ever seen a camel drink? Them things can go in on some water. So what he did there, he shit tested her. And then after that, he put a golden earring in her ear, and he put gold on her wrist, and both her wrists, and then he gave her a golden necklace. That's what he did. And then he also gave her more clothes out of silk and all that. Basically made her look like a queen. So that was just one part. Just simply asking somebody to do something for you. That's a shit test. And seeing if they'll do it. If I asked my woman to cook me some food and I didn't say what type of food and she didn't ask, it's not a problem she didn't ask. The test is if you actually do it with no bass class. Like if I don't have to pester you or have to get on your ass about it, that's one of the shit tests. Or if you ask her to do something like simple, hey, babe, can you go down here and pay this bill while I go over here and do this? It will really help me, to spend more of my day with you because then I won't have to go and do that because you did it and this and that. Now, if you get met with backlash, no, 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 no. That's bad, and that's the shit test. Simply asking somebody to do something for you, or you can ask them about certain viewpoints, right? So I had this one conversation, with one girl, and she was, I would say, a rabid feminist, and I think most women like talking to me because I'm 6'7", okay? So I be shit testing the fuck out of people. Excuse my French. So I shit test mostly women. Because the friends that I have today, I know who they are because they've been through the fire with me. So shit test a woman is essential, honestly. Especially nowadays. If you want to find out if she's a hoe, you play around with her with whole like tendencies that you know that she would like to do, but you never do them, right? Because you trying to see where her head is. That's all shit testing is. Seeing where your actual head is, pulling out that actual person that you're trying to hide and throw on me later. Okay, because nobody wants to get stuck with somebody who's going to do them wrong, but wanted that person before they can do them wrong. See, now if you're dealing with, excuse me, y'all, I have to burp. If you're dealing with a hoe or a harlot, how you should test them. So when you should test a hoe or a harlot, you start talking about penises. Simple as that. Uh, Disclaimer: my video is not for kids. If you have kids, or if you have kids around, get them out of there. About to get graphic. Okay. So when you're dealing with a hoe and talking to a hoe, what you talk to them about is these things: money, sex, and popularity. Yeah. Money, sex, popularity. That's all her cares about. Because if she's a hoe, popularity comes into fact. Because if she wants to do something, think about Cardi B. Come on now. Meg Thee Stallion. They need that type of thing. Hot Girl Summer, OnlyFans. They need that. They need that to make money as a hoe. Okay. Second thing, sex. Sex is important to a hoe. I mean, she'll have sex with anybody. But when you talking about a sensational hoe, you'll talk about the thickness of it or the length of it. And watch her face. If she looks like she's totally repelled by it, she might not even be a hoe. She might even be a nun. She might even be a nun. If she's looking at like, oh yes, that eyes flared up, mouth watering, I don't think that necessarily makes her a hoe just yet. But watch her afterwards, okay? A lot of the times you'll see her look at other men like how men used to look at women. Okay? Like dog dives, like how the construction workers used to whistle at the attorney woman walking down the street trying to just get to her office in New York. Or your women do this subtly. They're not aggressive as men. I'll give you examples, things that happen to me. Okay, so 5 examples, real quick. One time, walking down the store, and good looking lady, probably like 5'10". I'm standing in line in Walmart, and she walks hella close next to me, and she sticks out her arm right in front of my face, and she waves while she's walking. I wouldn't necessarily say she's a hoe, but if she had a man with her and she did that so sneakily, yeah, you a hoe. Or the second one, yeah, okay, so I'm in class, right? And this woman who used to sit on the other side of class in real estate class and talk to her friend. She didn't notice me in the class because I used to always get in the class and sit down before anybody else. One day saw me, and then the next day sat right next to me, and she was there before me. And I'm looking to the right of me, and I'm like, I ain't saying nothing to her. I don't know this shit. But I will say this: she was 10 times thick. Okay. Anyway, she was a little bit aggressive with hers. Okay. And I don't know if she had a man, but she was pregnant at the time. She was talking to me. She was like, the doctor said that I wasn't able to have any kids, this and that. And now I want all the kids I can have looking at me like I'm a freaking 4-course meal. Okay. Another thing that would suddenly happen is they'll get close to you. They'll get like how she did. She was on the other side of the room and got really close to me. Okay. I literally sat right next to me. I'm trying to pay attention to real estate class, boy trying to learn about how escrow works and how MLAs work and how encumbrances work and all that other stuff about houses and the roof, and every 2 years you're supposed to replace that stuff. But this is not a real estate course, so I'm gonna shut up about it. So what that happened is she'll get real close. So like how the first lady did, she got real close. They'll stare at you. They'll give you the eye. You want this lap, basically. So that's another thing. And I'm saying all this because there's subtle things that she can do right in front of your face that you don't know about. Like if she had a husband and she was like, okay, hubby, let's sit over here today. And she's talking to me like that while her husband's sitting there. Now, she's not really necessarily saying anything that's wrong, right? Wrong. Because she shouldn't be talking to me like that with her husband right there. Or I have two more to give you all. But they're basically all the same. Like, literally, it's just they get close to you. They'll stare at you. Get close to you, stare at you. They'll hit you up. They'll hit you up. Majority of all my relationships, take that back. All of my relationships have been initiated by women. I never literally was out here trying to get them, honestly, at all. I saw a lot of nature at a young age. I remember, if you guys ever watched my last video that I just made, said I was able to talk at the age of 2 months, and I remember a lot from it. I remember mostly everything, and I got to see a whole lot of stuff that these people thought I didn't see, but I did. Okay, so how does shit test your friends? How does shit test your friends? We'll get a little bit tricky here because your friend will actually do stuff for you. The best way to shit test your friends is to fake like you lost everything. Yes, to fake like you lost your house, your car, your job. Fake it. I don't care. Shit. If I can get 50K friends who are actually friends, you know how much I could do with that? Take over the world with that. But that's just the thing. A lot of these people are only your friends when you have something, and then they're not your friends when you're down and out. A lot of successful people don't have actual friends. They have leeches that leech off of. It's always a give situation. Like when an N-word makes it out of the hood and he brings all his homies with him. Are they really your homies? Or are they just on along with the ride? And then you gotta ask your homies, how come you're not even productive in your life? I'm not your freaking dad. I'm not supposed to take care of you. And even if I am your dad, I would still tell you to go be productive, honestly. So the best way to shit test your friends is to act like you lost everything. Or just act like you lost the thing that you know they like the most or that they come around the most for. And see if they still come around. See if they still down to chill with you. If you and your friend are able to sit in the room quietly together and not do anything, that's your friend. That is your friend. Okay? That's your friend. Honestly. And let me get back to the woman because I didn't think that explaining the friend part would be so easy, but it is. You can do the same thing to her. Take away the things that you think that she likes about you that are most likely vain and see how she acts. See how she acts. Honestly. Like, if she only likes your money, put all your money away in another bank and say, I'm broke, babe. Look. Show her that zero account. Even let it go negative, maybe. I don't care. Shit, don't pay the fee. And say, oh, babe, I'm negative. This and that. And if she a hoe, or I wouldn't say a hoe, because a hoe, you got a good penile, bro. She'll stay around. And she'll just stay around just to do you. Okay? And honestly, you got a good thing now. We can't decrease that to see if you really like you. We can't measure that honestly. So money, is what you can do. You can always decrease and increase your money. And if she's gone after she sees that you faked your account, honestly, she did pass the test. She stays and says, "Babe, I'm gonna hold you down." You don't even have to fake for that long. Fake for like a day. Fake for like a day or two. Don't do that to her. Don't do a week. Don't do it. Don't do a month. Because then she'll start asking, "How are you still able to pay for these bills?" Because you don't want to go in a house with no lights or a house with no water. It don't make no sense. Don't. It was just a shit test. It's not a full on exam. Okay. So that's you take stuff. You take stuff away from people that you think they're using it. And why do I think it's so important to shit test people? Do you like to be used? And if you like to be used, give me your number. I got some things we can do, honestly. Honestly. And I ain't gonna use you the wrong way. I will give you a return on your investment. That's the thing. I'm not just gonna leech off of somebody. There's no benefit of me effing over somebody. There's no benefit of me stealing from my customers. That makes sense. None at all. It doesn't profit me. I might, it might profit me right then and there, but then I'm gonna have to keep on doing it and 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 doing it. At one point, I'm gonna want to stop, and then when I stop, the money's gonna stop because I was effing you over the whole time. And then when you F over somebody, they're not gonna deal with you. Now you need a new sucker, and if you need a new sucker, he's gonna have to keep going around, going around, going around, going around, going around. Like these women nowadays. Like, no offense, I'm gonna keep using y'all because y'all is a good example. No offense, I'm just being real. Going out on dates for free meals, and now you don't have nobody to go out with you no more because you done did it so many times that people are not dealing with it no more. People don't want to deal with it no more. So people are hip to the bullshit. After a certain time, the market gets to realize what's happening in the world, and if they realize what's happening in the world, then they reverse trends, and then when trends reverse, the person who's still trying to ride that same wave gets eaten by the market, and if they get eaten by the market, boom, they get blown out the market. And if they get blown out the market, well, good luck getting back in. And the only way you can get back in is to change your habits. That's why I said I would never do somebody wrong, because when you do somebody good, they'll come back, and then that's reoccurring money. And if they come back and that's reoccurring money, then I can do that same thing with somebody else, and then that comes reoccurring money, and then that comes reoccurring money, and it just keeps on building upon itself. And then you build a rapport with the people, and then what that does is, like Mark Zuckerberg, he can walk up into the banks and say, "Give me money," and they wouldn't even ask him a question because he built that rapport. I mean, he goes into communities and he fixes them up. He raises the equity in that place, which raises the GDP in that place, which raises the cost of living in that place, which puts more money in the bank's pockets. He doesn't go in there and says, "Oh, give me the money. I'm going to go buy me a yacht." Inward, what is wrong with you? Give me the money. I'm about to go run up this bag. On what? This Gucci belt. Look up in the sky, asking God why. Basically, that's what I'm doing. He replied, "Inward, I don't even know my thing." So they do it because they want to sensational, materialistic, and evil. So you have a friend who's there just to be there, and then you have a woman who's sensational. And when I say sensational, I mean in all aspects: money, sex, and popularity. Money, sex, popularity is what you should test women. And then with your friends, the only thing you should test them with is the things you know they like the most. And take it away and see if they still want to be your friend. And this video is longer than the other ones I just made because this is a very good topic, honestly. Because there's a lot of people who have friends who are not their friends, who have friends who are not their friends. Mainly one, I when I was in college, I seen a lot of women taking advice from the wrong people. Honestly, like they'll be taking advice from the known hoe, and then they'll ask her, "What do men like?" Well, men don't actually talk to her. The only thing they do to her is, you know what? She don't know what men like. She don't know what men want. She don't even know how to keep a man. She don't know how to talk to a man. She a hoe. Why do you think they don't get married? Honestly, I'm not being mean. I'm just being real. So, who you should talk to, a woman, is the man because he's the person who knows what he wants. He didn't obviously want the hoe because everybody doesn't have the hoe. You know what she is? Just good digging. That's it. Honestly, just good digging. And I'm just gonna be real. A hoe. That's all a hoe is. Good digging, kicking to the curb, and never talk to her again. Now that's that friend. And then you have your bitter friend in the woman group who is just mad she can't get a man. Mad she can't even get dug out. She might look good. I don't even shit. She might also have an evil, nasty attitude. Most of the time, it'd be the feminist, like the hardcore feminist, who's like that woman who you walk up on with a group of women and you try to talk to her friend, but she'll pull her away. And I actually had this happen to me before. She pulled her friend away and said, "Well, you can't talk to her unless you talk to me." Honestly, I was like, "Look, chick, I don't want to talk to both of you. I'm out of here." And the reason because of that is because she's your friend and you accept this. And if I want to deal with her, I gotta deal with you. This such attitude. And if she don't got an attitude like you are who the five people you hang around with. So I don't want her either no more. She might look good, but there's millions of other women who look just like her. I bet. So that was going through my mind when I was going through the younger stages. Um, this is the same video. Well, yeah, this is. So another thing is when a woman has seductress way, she'll be very flirtatious. Okay, flirtatious. She'll flatter you with her eyes. She's disrespectful. It doesn't even have to be like big disrespect. It could be the littlest disrespect, and that's actually the worst of them all. The little disrespect because they be trying to throw them little punches in, right? And they'll throw a lot of those little punches in. And with those little punches, they'll feel like they gain power to do you really dirty. Okay. Now the person who's outright disrespectful, I have a little bit more respect for because they're easier to, see, catch, for you can get a hell out of advantage. But I've been going through life as a grown up since I was like 7. So I've been able to see these people and been adapt to them. Like, I'll give you an example. I think of it because I don't deal with y'all no more. So, an example, I'm red pill by the way, or I'm a little bit of red pill mixed with purple pill. I can't even describe myself. I'm a person, damn it. I'm breathing. So the little disrespect. Um, say this. Oh, these are friends. This is the most beautiful one. So she'll be with her friends, and they'll be talking about how they don't like their boyfriend, and some of them have legit reasons, and some of them actually don't. Let's talk about those some of them who actually don't. They'll disrespect their man just to feel part of the group. I'm let that sink in. They'll disrespect their man to feel a part of the group. Not even though they might not even feel this way, or they might not even have thought about it until then, which doesn't matter. The simple fact is that you were willing to disrespect the person you said you want to be with to impress a bunch of women who are bitter. And what that does is it makes you bitter. And now you're coming home to this man and you're talking to him, and he's wondering why and what he did to piss you off. He didn't do anything. It's what you did to piss yourself off. And from there, you start disrespecting him. He becomes all these bitches. He becomes ain't shit. There's a podcast on Facebook that says men aren't shit. But literally, the woman on the podcast talking about hoeing themselves out and selling their bodies. And one of them said, when I realized the worst they can do is call me a hoe, I went crazy. No, the worst they can do is call you a hoe and make sure you die alone by spreading that you are a hoe. Not saying that you won't have sex partners. Nah, y'all just be lying to you. People gonna dig you out. Okay? People gonna dig you out, do you good, and then never deal with you again once they find out what comes out of your mouth or how you think. Okay, so there you go. Shit test everybody. Shit test your mama. Shit test your granny. Yeah, shit test your family too, because they'll leech off you. And also shit test your girl and most of all your friends. People I will probably ask me, well, why won't you shit test your girl or more than you do your friends? Because she's gonna see you do it. She'll see you shit test your friends, and if she has any type of common sense, she'll realize that you'll do the same to her, and that how is it? I watch what I say on YouTube, y'all. Honestly, it's dangerous. It's like I can't express myself how I want to. I'll put this. She'll basically realize that you're not the one to fuck with. So if you're not the one to mess with, why would she mess with you? Women recognize power. Women recognize consistency. Women recognize a person who knows what they're doing. A confident person, right? A strong person. But that doesn't mean she won't shit test you, okay? And what you do, the best way to pass a shit test with a woman, listen, the best way to pass a shit test with a woman is not to get emotional. And now I can say that. But she might hit you with some stuff like, well, I don't know if we'll get together, when honestly she's thinking that you're the one. You don't get emotional. She's testing you, bro. She's testing you, bro. She hit you with that. This is what you do. Okay. Say okay. Don't make it seem like you don't care, but say like, okay, ask her why. She gives you bullshit reasons. Debunk the bullshit reasons. She gives you legitimate reasons. Maybe she's serious. That's all I can say. But just know that you should shit test them too. You shouldn't be the only one getting shit tested on. Honestly, swing your sword back and put up your shield, goddamn. Shit test after shit test after shit test after shit test after shit test. I think you should shit test. Like if somebody passed the good shit test, for probably like 3 months. Give them a break because you need a break, and then should test them like annually, just to see where they head at. Because people they lie that when they say all the best actors are in Hollywood. No, the best actors are in the hood, okay, and they're doing each other wrong by acting. Okay, I know there's one woman who plays wife, right? She plays wife so good that her husband thinks that he has the best wife on planet effing Earth. But in reality, she throwing it back for Tyrone and Pookie. And, and if she can get Brad, she'll do him too. And this is just the truth. And then when I asked her, I never did. I don't believe in adultery, but I was gonna get my talking points. Damn it, that's what I said. She said, "Well, he just doesn't do it for me in the bedroom." I asked her, "Well, is he not long enough? Is he not thick enough? Something like that." She said, "No, he's okay. He ain't bad. It's just he don't do me the way I want to." And disclaimer, I'm about to tell you what she said. You got kids, get them out of the room. She said, I need somebody to beat it down like he got a problem with me. Basically, you need to beat it down and throw it down like some freaking, like you beating the meat. Not your meat, but like, you know how, like when you go to the butcher and they pound the meat like really hard with like a sledgehammer. Say, I need earth. I need you to put your foot on my head. I need you to and I'm over there. I'm laughing. I'm not laughing with her. I'm laughing at her because I ain't gonna give her. You got a whole man at home. If you want him to do that, ask him to do that. And I didn't even ask her. Did she ask him? Obviously, she wasn't going to ask him. I already know why she wouldn't ask him. Probably he's a good man. Like when I say a good man, like he is. I'm gonna use a red pill term. Beta male provider. And a beta male is not always a skinny person who doesn't have anything. Or when I say anything, I mean like muscles. Okay. So it doesn't have anything. Beta male can simply be anybody, honestly. She wanted that rough stuff basically. And most women do. Most black women do. So when I was talking to her, I was like, "Oh, really? So that's what you want, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then I just left the conversation and never hit it back up again. Got like 4 messages after that. That's out of the picture. My point is, when you're dealing with a woman like that, she's sensational. Like, okay, so say if I did do it, she probably like it, and it probably going on for a while. At one point, we'll get caught, and that person that you thought was a pissy person might turn into a beast, and it's over for me and you. Not saying that it's over because you don't know people. The Bible says that there's no rage greater than a man who found an adulterous woman with a man. And I know I didn't quote that right, but I know what I'm saying. Basically, it was saying that there's nothing more that pisses off a man than when a woman cheats on him. Honestly, there's nothing more that pisses off a man than when a woman cheats on him. And women say that this doesn't hurt. Bible says it hurts. Honestly, it describes God's relationship with Israel as a woman that did adultery, and then Judah, the southern kingdom, saw and did the same thing, and it sounded like he cried about it and was mad about it, and then even told her to come home, and was like, God's big simping. Big simping. But he knows what's gonna happen in the end. He's God. That's just how I have to put it. So kind of go off topic. Should test your friends, y'all. Should test your friends. Should test your mama. Should test your granny. Should, I was being funny now. Should test everybody. Everybody get it. Ain't nobody safe with this shit testing. If I come around you as a person who I don't know, I'm going to shit test you. Now, I'm a person who naturally has people walk up to them and just tell them weird truths. Like another story. Like I was in a party and I was in this party to make sure one of my friends can make it home safe because he likes to get shit faced. So this dude, he walks up to me and he just starts telling me about himself. And I'm looking at him and he's talking to me. And when he finishes, it's like he snaps out of a trance and he's like, I don't even know why I said that to you. And I'm like, man, you're not the first person to do it, and you're probably not the last person to do it. There was another time where I was just walking down the street like a normal person, a normal human being. And this person stops me and they just start telling me about themselves. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, dude, I don't care, not to be rude, but there'd be sometimes where I gotta go places. There was another person dealing with demons, and he felt the need to tell me about it. And I told him how to handle it, and then he just kept talking about it. And then at one point, I'm just like, dude, get over yourself. Life goes on. You'll breathe, and at the end of your breathing, you'll make it out all right. You'll be okay. So I'm a hard person to lie to, is what I'm trying to say. It's just innately, because my energy that I give off doesn't allow you to lie to me. And if you do lie to me, I know so many truths. It's kind of hard to lie to me. I wish somebody would lie to me and get away with it. Then I will learn something. And the way I learn how to spot somebody's lies is by putting people through shit tests. People act the same. People are predictable. People have patterns. And people have trends. Uptrends, downtrends. Some people consolidate in the same place forever. Most people are on the downtrend. And then the majority of people after that are consolidated. Excuse me, all these burps. There's a rare person. I wouldn't say they're rare. It's just a small percentage of the population who are on the uptrend. You know, who are on a beautiful uptrend. And those people stay to themselves. They don't talk to a lot of people. And they also don't deal with a lot of people. Honestly. They don't party like that. And when I say they don't like being around people, they don't like being around people. They are that person in the gym who has their earphones on and not paying attention to nobody but themselves. And it's not like they're conceited. It's more so like they're trying to improve. You see that person who's always by themselves, always improving, and not telling nobody and just staying on the grind and staying to themselves. That's the person on that uptrend. You need to find them, stay with them. And it's not like they don't. One friend is that they think a lot like how I'm just saying. They shit test people. And they figured out the same thing that I figured out. Most people ain't about shit. They ain't about shit. And I'm sorry to say that most people ain't about shit because it's just the truth. And that's why I'm on this video telling you guys to shit test people. Honestly, shit test your mama, shit test your granny, shit test your sister, shit test your girls, and shit test your friends. Yes. You stop being so, I wouldn't say gullible, so nice. So nice. Not saying that you should be mean. Be stern. Be like a rock. Unmovable. And it's way to go where it wants to go. Not saying and a rock as that stationary, but a rock in its strength and its density. Have thick skin. It's because when you shit test people, they're gonna get emotional. And if you get emotional, you lost. And if you get offended of what you see with these people and how they act, you lost again. Like YG said, get out your feelings. I'm quick to tell the N-word the real quick. I'm not be like YG, pull up on your house and steal your itch. But this is the truth. Get out of your feelings and step into a world to where you come into reality. And this reality is not for everybody. You say that. And the reason why I'm explaining this so long because when you start to shit test people, you'll start to see their real colors. And not everybody's purple, blue, and green. Most people are black. Most people are red, crimson. And most people don't even have white souls. Can't help the helpers. Can't do it. But that's why I'm telling you shit test people. Because there's no point of the people who are in their consolidation to start a downtrend. You're consolidating there for a reason. The reason why you're consolidating there is for you to learn. And whatever you learn is what I'm going to see in your trend. If you learn something good, you'll go up. If you learn nothing but bad, you will fall down. And there's no end to the pit. You'll just keep falling and falling and falling until you feel like you hit your leg. And then you'll be like, you might consolidate there again. And then this is where people have their aha moment, their epiphany. They hit the wall. And then they try to reverse back up. And see what happens here is you'll hit this another consolidation. Like I said, consolidating is nothing but learning. So when you're learning to come back up to that point to where you were, it's going to be hard because now you have to go through all that other stuff on the left side of you that made you fall, and you have to go through it and see what made that happen. And that's going to take time. So you're going to consolidate, find out what was wrong in that certain part of your life, hit an uptrend, hit resistance. And then when you hit that resistance, you're going to have to consolidate again because you're going to have to learn. And then you're going to have to hit another uptrend and then hit resistance and then consolidate again and then hit an uptrend. And then when you get to where you were consolidating, you might say, I came a long way. I don't know why I had to hit that low to figure out that I was wrong. And then you'll just be behind and have to go from there. Some people are late bloomers. And a late bloomer is not a person who consolidated and fell. A late bloomer who is consolidated and might fail a little bit and came back up to the consolidation and then spiked up and then fell back to the consolidation and then spiked up just a little bit more and then fell below their consolidation. Now, when I see that on the charts, I see that as somebody who's an uptrend, but is building slowly. But those are the best uptrends because those uptrends learn more than anybody else. And they keep their uptrend for longer because when they consolidated right there and spiked up and fell back down, they learned what worked and they learned what didn't work and they learned what works indefinitely. And when they learn what worked indefinitely, they stay on that trend and then you see that trend in the chart and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. It doesn't need to bounce off resistance no more because it figured out what makes it resist. And it stopped it in its tracks. And what I like to call that is nowadays shit testing. So, like I said, it shit tested at a little bit of its high when it broke out of its consolidation. And then it came back down into its low and it had its shit test. It's low. And then it didn't like what it saw at its low, so it went back to its high. The reason why it fell down from its high is because it hit some type of resistance. It saw something that it didn't know and didn't learn, so I had to go back down to figure out, well, where did I go wrong? It didn't go wrong anywhere, most likely. The only thing that was wrong is that you didn't believe in yourself. So it had a shit test. And that's another aspect of shit testing. You have to believe what you're seeing. You have to believe what people are saying to you. Not saying that you have to believe indefinitely what people are showing you and what they're saying to you, but no, my bad. Believe definitely what you're seeing somebody do. Because what somebody says versus what somebody does can be polar opposites and can throw you off. But believe what people do and not what they say. Okay? But if somebody says something and they do what they say, they're a beautiful tree. And a lot of the times, they might be late bloomers. And the reason why late bloomers are so late bloomers is because they doubt themselves, honestly. Doubt is the enemy of us all. It's the thing that's in our head that causes our judgment and keeps us from where we need to go. Okay, guys, that was a video on shit testing people. I had to give you how to shit test people and then plus the reality of what you get after you shit test somebody. Because if you got a good heart, you're gonna hit a downtrend once you realize this reality. Because you're gonna hit depression. The first thing that might go through your head is, well, if everybody's like this, what's the point? What's the point? And not saying that everybody's like this. You might be out that case who has people around you who actually like you, who actually are not doing you wrong, who don't want to do you wrong, who just want to see you prevail. I have a lot of people like that in my life, but I also had a lot of people who had a shit test and didn't pass the shit test. And I don't have no ought against that person, nor am I mad or angry at that person for being who they are, man. Come on now, that's just them in their life. If they want to proceed a downtrend, I'm just going to sell it. Like anything. And if they want to consolidate, I'm going to wait until I see that they have figured out their shit. Shit testing. Okay? So if I'm coming around you and I asked you, how was your test? And you told me, well, most of my friends are on the downtrend, man. Well, did you sell them? And that, and to a good me person, they wouldn't want to see another person as commodity. But we all provide a service, so we all have a price on our heads. Most people are in 50K worth of debt, so they're worth 50K once they pay off that debt, and then plus all their estate, so they might be worth more than 50K. And the person who's on a downtrend psychologically can have a lot of money, but will end up dying alone because nobody wants to deal with that. People on a downtrend don't want to even deal with other people on a downtrend. Toxicity doesn't love other toxic people. Toxicity loves people that can be toxic with. Like, you don't want to have toxic with another toxic person because then it's just not toxic. It's more so, it's not food. It's not food for their thought, if that makes sense. Because if I'm toxic and you're toxic, we both like being toxic, so it's not toxic. It's more so of something we like to do. Makes sense. But if I'm toxic, I need somebody who's not toxic for I can be toxic to them. See, I think like a toxic person. But shit testing. Because a toxic person won't come at you toxic first. They'll come at you and deceive, build a rapport with you, and then start being toxic slowly but surely. They'll just throw little bits and pieces in toxicity. And why am I saying that? Because when the market is about to go on the steepest downtrend, it'll shoot up really high with one candlestick and then fall. And then fall. But when it falls, it doesn't just completely fall like how I went up there. It gradually falls. Yeah. It gradually falls. It keeps falling, it keeps falling, it keeps falling. Oh, it's like the give you a little sense of hope. Whoa, like that, it just falls. Why to do that? Well, it had to get you comfortable to take your money. And that's how toxic people have to do you the same. It has to get you comfortable to be toxic to you. Okay? That's why I'm saying you should shit test any and everybody. Because there's a lot of toxic men and women out here. So when you think about it like that, you have to make your circle, like how Drake said, a period. Because most people, like I said in the beginning, there's people on the uptrend, but there's not a lot of uptrend people. There's more downtrend people. There's more people on the consolidation. Now the consolidation people I like to call simple. These people are simple, not being rude. They're just staying in their little consolidation. And you never know, their consolidation on their price chart might be over $100. And then you can't really say nothing to them because they got the money. And they're just consolidating in their little hundreds of dollars, making their little thousands of dollars every other day. But what's wrong with making more money? Like when you look at other charts, well, I'm saying charts, I mean people. When you look at other people on the uptrend, they're always learning new things. They're always trying to improve their circle. Like people say no new friends. That's true. I don't want no new friends. I want new partners and partnerships. I want new collabs. I don't want new friends. That's just more people I have to shit test. If I have more partners, that means they have something to lose in the situation that we're in. If they have something to lose, they're not going to mess me over because they have something to lose. Having that simple thing of pain in the middle of us causes respect. Having pain in the middle of something causes respect. Why I say that twice? Because nobody wants to go through pain. It's painful building an uptrend because you got to learn things. It's not painful being toxic. It's not painful being a leech. It's very much easy. All right, guys, that was my video on how to shit test people, or should you shit test people? Basically, shit test woman and man, your friend. Shit test them and figure out if they're uptrend or downtrend. Figure out if they are consolidating and you're stuck there. And another thing about the consolidating person, you can actually help these people. Since they are consolidating, say if you are a person on the uptrend, help that person. You've been down there. You've been consolidating before. See, this is what you do. You go down there and you give them the right information and you tell them this works and this doesn't work. And from there, you leave them alone. And a lot of the times what you would see is the person would do the complete opposite of what you said, just to see if you're right. And you gotta let people do that, just to see if you're right, honestly. And you leave that person alone. But you don't stop watching them. You see if they go on the uptrend. And when you see them fall, because you'll see them fall steeply real quickly. You'll see them fall real steeply and real quickly, and then they'll reverse back up. Because you gave them that advice. You gave them that advice. They'll be like, whoa, what he said is real. And since they have the information, since they have the instructions, since they have the knowledge of what works, they'll reverse quickly. And they'll build that beautiful uptrend I was talking about. But if you let the toxic person who's at their low talk to this person who's at a consolidation higher than them, they'll fall. Because that toxic person is going to be like, well, there ain't nothing wrong with my life. I like living like this. You feel me? I'm happy the way I am. But what that person in the consolidation should say to themselves, well, do I want to live like this person? Do I want to be on the downtrend? Do I want to be drugged down by this person? Oftentimes people talk to you like, get on my level. My response to them is like, well, hold on, let me go grab a shovel. If I want to get on your level, honestly, I'm going to have to start digging because you done dug yourself a hole. All right, guys. Stay lovely, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and your mama black.